Take your taste buds on an adventure.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the tavern. My name is Finnifer and today we're going to be continuing on with our arena run that we started yesterday. We didn't actually play any matches, but we created our priest deck. Now if you remember from yesterday, our priest deck, we were a bit kind of not really sure about what was going on. Just as a quick reminder, so these are the stats that we had. We had sort of aiming for trying to use all of our minions to trade up into our opponent's stuff and then heal our minions up, because we didn't really have that much removal. We possibly made some mistakes on the picks, and we really want to be trying to use our minions to clear their minions but keep our minions stuck around. So we've got quite a few minions that hopefully will achieve this. We've got some card draw of Northshire Clerics, as well as stealing some stuff from our opponent's deck. So hopefully we'll be going okay with this. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to stick the deck list up on the side as normal so that you can see what's going on in the matches, and we can keep a quick check in case we forget what we might draw or if we need to have some sort of removal. But I'm just going to go through this again and have a look, just to familiarise myself again with what we were doing. So we only have one dragon, which is the Twilight Whelp. So the Twilight Whelp is always going to be a 2-1, unfortunately. However, we do have the... where has she gone? She's vanished. Oh, she's 3-drop. Blackwing Technician. So I may be able to trick the Blackwing Technician very, very occasionally. We've got quite a lot of early game, a lot of 2-drops going on. We've got no 2-mana spells, we've just got 2-mana minions. We've got 3 Shrinkmeisters. And so our early game is pretty good, which is useful. And then kind of our mid-late game just kind of falls to pieces. So we've got Ancient Brewmasters, which are not very good. We've got some decent stuff, and we've got some in-game kind of take control of what is going on. So we're going to again set our goal today as about 4 wins. Not entirely sure how well this deck's going to do, because we do have a lot of variance. Our mana curve is pretty blocky as well, unfortunately, which is a shame, but we kind of want to go for the 4 wins because that will allow us to actually break even on this draft. However, this draft was free. We won technically 5 gold and a free arena run from our last arena run where we win 7 wins. So anything is good, but we kind of want to be aiming for some decent amount of wins. Now, I haven't done any of my quests today, so we're just going to go and have a look at our quests. We're going to keep the Meek shall inherit just because we have very nearly finished it and there's not much point in us taking it around. So we've got the Paladin or Priest victory, or the Priest or Warlock victory. Now, we're going to be doing Priest wins, so there's not much we can do at all with this. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to suck up a 40 gold quest if we'd start winning. But we're going to take up one of these, rather than just doing the 2 for the 80. We're going to see if we can hit 60. I don't really have a Paladin deck in ranked. I kind of have a Warlock deck. It's not very good. The Paladin deck is probably worse though. So I'm going to get rid of the Paladin quest, and then we'll see if we can get a Warlock victories later on. Oh, look at that. Paladin or Priest Dominance. Okay, cool. So we might be able to actually unlock all of these quests, unfortunately, but it'll give us 140 gold, which will allow us to go into our next arena run, which is always going to be good for us. So what was I doing? Arena. already forgotten. Okay, so yeah, we're going to jump in with our arena run. We're going to see how it goes. We're trying to do, as I said, early game smashing and then healing up our minions just so that we can keep them stuck around for later on to try and just keep our advantage on the board, because although we've got some decent stuff later on, it's going to be pretty difficult to get it going. Okay, so let's jump straight in and have a look. I'm also going to chuck on a little bit of music. It's going to be very, very similar, because I haven't looked at my playlists. Okay, so our first opponent is Paladin. Okay, well, at least we're not going to draw it later on in this mulligan, so I can get rid of that. Do I keep the Ancient Brewmaster? I've got 2 drops and the coin, so I think I'm going to keep this. Okay. Oh well, never mind. We'll see how this goes. Greetings. We're gonna go straight out with the Shadow Boxer. Okay, so we could go 2 to the face, or we could hit this guy and he'll deal 1 damage to this guy. So we lose 1 damage, but we keep the minion off the board, which is kind of what we want to be doing throughout this. I don't really mind not dropping a second minion at this point. An enraged Wargren. Okay. He's gonna kill some stuff. Oh dear. Do I play them? I've got 3 of these in my deck, so I'm not... Oh, that's how I could have hit the Wargren. And I could have tried to heal. Oh no, I couldn't have healed. So, Wargren is going to kill my rare, unfortunately. Oh, and Divine Shield. Oh, jeez, man! No, this is all going wrong already. Okay. Oh, I can't even play this guy. Which means you're going to kill. That's 8 damage to the face, 10, 11. Let's play this guy as a bit of a roadblock, unfortunately. Unfortunately he's going to die, but he's going to take out a couple of things, hopefully. Wow. This is going supremely well. Let's have a look at what's in their deck. Oh my days, they've got Avenging Wrath. Okay, deal 8 damage, 6, 7, 8. I'll randomly split. Okay, so we know they've got an Avenging Wrath in their deck. I'm pretty sure it's deck and not hand that we've got. Yeah, so they might not have it in hand. If they do, that's going to be unfortunate, but this might be able to clear off some of their board. Okay. Let's get rid of this guy. So, I mean, we've got problems, right? We know he's got the Avenging Wrath, which is just 8 damage if we have no minions on board, which is going to be somewhat of a problem. I mean, I can return this guy to my hand and cast him again, depending on if he lives. Ah, but he's not going to live. Okay, 5 and 5 doesn't kill this. Hope for the best. Okay, well, we've revealed both of the cards that we drew from their deck. So we now know they've got Avenging Wrath and they've got the ability to change one of my minions' attacks to 1. Which means I probably want to keep this guy back, really, just so I can reset that swing that they've got. Random 1-cost minion. It's called Wind Fury. It's not going to matter. Okay, I can double stealth, but they can deal 9 damage to me. Unfortunately, no board presence. But oh dear. I'm holding a dragon, gain +2 health. I'm never going to be holding a dragon. So I may as well drop him now. I don't know if Avenging Wrath can actually hit stealthed minions. I should have stuck. Oh no, that's fine. I'm not sticking that guy in the middle. God, this guy's got so much big stuff. I have no wraths at all. Okay, this is unfortunate. God, I can't even kill any of his guys. I think this is game, which is unfortunate. I can crash both these guys into one thing. I mean, if I crash here, that's 12, 17, not enough. If I crash both in here, I'm going to take ridiculous amounts. That's 9, 10, 13. Nah, I think he's got me. Lots of stealthy things, but not much I can do with them. That weakens his team somewhat. See what he does. Pretty sure he's just going to kill me. He's on 30 life. Did nothing. Absolutely nothing. What a terrible, terrible game. I don't even know what I did, if I did anything wrong, or if it's just this deck is terrible. Yeah, well done. Right. Yeah, I've got no mass removal, which is a problem. I mean, I was offered Priest, Hunter, and Warrior, so I mean, I was kind of hoping for some Holy Fires or something, but I didn't get them, as is obvious from this list on the side. Right, who are we playing? We're playing another Priest, okay. Get an extra card. Okay. Turn 1, turn 2, maybe. I don't really want this early. I probably want the Holy Smite for the the opposite. Oh, Holy Fire, really? Oy, oy. Right. I'm not sure if I'm just mulliganing really badly. I mean, I said about 2 drops, but maybe I should be going more for the 2-drop face. I mean, this is fine in a Priest Mirror as long as they don't have one as well. Thought Steal? I don't think Thought Steal. Oh, do I really want to use 2 damage up on that? No. And the Dragon Whelp, which is always going to be a 2-1. This is a bad pick. I think this was in the... These picks are going to be better for you, value-wise. Okay. Do you double Holy Smite a Scarlet Crusader? Seems like a bad use of mana, but then I don't really want this to die. I want the card draw, right? Oh shit. Fuck. Now I'm gonna have to mana crystal to heal just so he doesn't kill that. That was a misplay. I was meant to attack him. I was gonna drop this guy, potentially. Just, I know he's a 2-1 and he can trade up, and he would just get killed by this guy, but I'm not really fussed. Really? 2 to my face? Is that because I double Holy Smited your guy? Just going for my face. Or is it just because I've just been healing my guy rather than me? Oh well, I know I can possibly get my 2 Holy Smites back. Potentially. I know this is probably the worst idea to be doing, is just drawing more cards, but he's just wasted 2 Holy Smites on my face, which takes 2 turns for me to re-heal without any other spell. So I think I'm okay with just drawing lots of cards at this moment in time. He'll give me more options later in the game. He's probably just going to start dropping a load of massive things that I can't deal with, such as this guy. That's not a spell. Give me a spell and then this guy will kill this guy. Whenever your opponent casts a spell as well. Ag! You cost 6. You gonna heal my dude? I must choose quickly. Ah, okay. Right, so... this guy's going to get Wind Furied. Unless I do something about it. Let's draw another card. Another Thought Steal. I don't... So, if he attacks my Northshire Cleric, he becomes Wind Fury. He can then attack here. His guy dies. And we have nothing on board. If I drop this guy, he attacks here. This guy gets big. Or he leaves my Northshire Cleric alone. Or I Thought Steal. How many cards have I got in my hand? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I will be... yeah, so I drop a minion. Stealth Panther gives me a way of... oh, unless he Holy Smites. Let's drop this guy. So I mean, if he Wargrins into my Northshire Cleric, my Northshire Cleric's done probably enough at the moment. I only wanted it to draw 2 cards, I think it's drawn 3. Whoosh! Now what are you gonna do? Okay. You're emptying your hand on one guy. I only need 1 damage left on him. And then I can Inner Fire. So who are you smushing first? Me. I think I'm in a pretty good position now. 2, 4, 6, 8 cards in hand. Oh, I've got the ability to make this bigger as well. No, don't Thought Steal, that's what I'm doing! Bye! What? Oh! That's better than I thought it was! I'm surprised. Okay. I'm shocked. I thought that was, oh, he's got Holy Fire as well. Okay. I really thought that had to, thingamajiggy. Let's roadblock. I thought he had to return himself. Oh, okay. I'm happier with those 2 in my deck now. That means I can actually... I suppose... oh yeah, so he got my Dark Cultist as well. Is this whenever a minion's healed? Yeah. Oh, what? It can be different things. What's going on? All these cards are doing things I don't know. Like, completely different to what I thought they were. You have no secrets. It's a bit of a waste doing that. 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I could do this. I only have 1 Northshire down. You can kill that. This doesn't actually kill anything. I'm going to be taking 6 damage. There's my Mind Control. I think you've done enough, Northshire. How much health did you have? Ew! Okay. It worked out fine for me. Sort of. This is a bit of a grindy match. I didn't think my deck would be any good at this. Okay. It's not super great. Okay, you've emptied your hand. And you've healed up. Now, are you going to crash into me, or are you going to crash into my dudes? Okay, you're just going for the kill. Okay, so let's think about this. That deals 5 damage to something. You can kill this and survive, you can kill this and survive. Leaving this behind, unfortunately. Do I not have any taunt guys? No. Don't really want to do this. I've got the Holy Fire. It's possibly a bit of a waste. Let's get some more cards from their deck. Okay. They seem to have a removal problem as well, it seems like. I'm hoping they've got something massive. Acolyte of Pain. Meh. Oh dear. That was a misplay. Do I mind control this guy? I don't think I do, right? Oh, misplay Amundo. They tell me what I've copied. Okay, you've got a light spawn as well. What was your last card? Secret Keeper. Oh, how? Is that whenever a secret is played? Yeah. Okay. So I'm probably going to just steal this guy. I'm hoping he crashes in, heals, and then I'm going to steal him and make him sad. But it depends on what he plays. Like, if he plays something really good, then I might be taking that instead. Destroy minion 5? No, okay. Suppose he could have mind control tech. Oh, the song again. Go away. Right. I need to remove that one. He could have mind control tech, which could cause me problems, I suppose. I've got 4 minions, I've got the board, I've got card advantage. I'm just gonna leave it there. Like, if he starts killing my dudes, then fine. But there's very little he can draw, I feel, that can win this, especially when I've got the mind control tech, which is always going to be better for us. Whenever a minion is healed, draw a card. I guess I'll do that. Let's avoid the possibility of the holy thingy. Okay, he had no dudes, no secrets. I was going to make him sad by stealing said secret. 5-9. Thank you, little dude. There's my double brewmasters. 5-9. Enough. Well played. Okay, so that went pretty well. Slight dodgy early start, but it went pretty well later on. I'm not sure if that's because I just was against Priest and I could utilise all the cards that I was stealing out of his hand. I say stealing, that I was stealing out of his deck. I should have made a note of what I stole, because I stole Inner Fire and I actually forgot about the Inner Fire that I stole completely. So I'm going to open up another notepad and we'll take a note down if we see any spells with the what's it called? Thought Steal. Okay, we've got 2 decent 2-drops and they give us the option of playing either way and a 5-drop that I don't really want. I don't even really want it in my deck. Sort of okay card. So one of the things I've learned about is that you can look at your opponent's hand and see what they've played. So we know this is the coin. Really? So we know this card is the coin. And we know these cards over on the far left of their hand are their oldest cards in hand. Okay, so let's Shadow Boxer, because next time we can play this guy, Shrink Dude, Crash him, depending on what they're going to do. Okay. Double Shrinkmeister. So I could crash, heal, and hope for the best. Nah, I went the wrong way. Oh well. You are sorry. What are you doing? Oh, you're sorry because of that? God, it's really hard to keep track of all the cards in the top of their hand. Okay. So that will allow him to deal 2 damage here. Blackwing Technician isn't going to trigger. Come on, hit the pirate! Ugh. Shadow Boxer, what are you doing? Oh, Chillwind.
Made in Bochum. That's what LTT stands for a company which has transformed itself into a
Oh yeah, that was...
industrial sector during the last year. Always, always close to the market and to the client.
So it's not super good.
It is much more than an ordinary online shop. Each of our clients has a personal contact partner who
What's going on?
plans his projects together with him
What?
on demand. Thus, LTT
Oh,
becomes
go away. You shouldn't be playing adverts on this. What's happened? Nothing. Okay. So I very, very quickly lost any ball control that I did have. I could heal and drop my 2 last Shrinkmeisters. Doesn't seem like a super good plan. I don't really need to heal just yet. I'm going to kind of have to desperately try and claw back something here. Considering I've got no removal I mean, can't kill this, but I can kill this guy with my 1 removal spell. Okay. Yuck. Thought Steel Consecration. Neither of those help me at this moment in time. Okay, so we've got an Azure Drake and a Spellbreaker. Let's just make a quick note of those. That sounded like a Bold Fist. It was Bold Fist. Oh, jeez, come on! That would give me 5. I need some way of dealing with stuff. Do I steal stuff from his deck? You replace yourself, but let's try Thought Stealing again. No, not good enough. Let's see what I would have got. Brewmaster anyway. 13. Ah, this game already. Jeez. Right, so this deck is suffering from what I thought it would. Why are you doing this? Look, concede. Oh, it's too late anyway. I'll say well played, but you're a bit of an arse at the end there. So this deck is suffering from what I thought it was going to suffer from, which is if I lose the early game, if I lose the board in the early game, it just spirals out of control. There's nothing I can do to regain board control. So I need to really, really, really be mulliganing down to those 2-drop minions. But those 2-drop minions haven't really helped me. I eked out a really, really, really long, grindy grind with that other priest. And was that because, I mean, he wasted those 2 Holy Smites on my face. Okay, so we got Malfurion. We can kill X1s. Okay. My deck is now going, here's all this stuff that you just asked for. But is it good enough? I'm gonna go over yes. I don't know. So I think they kept all their entire hand there as well. So it's really difficult to track where they're doing stuff. Greetings. Let's bring out the Shadow Boxer.
Welcome to the HP Smite Owen Challenge. The players are going to be tested their skill, their ability to keep concentration.
I didn't see what card that was. I was trying to work out why the advert was playing. Okay, we got some removal. Let's retain the board. I mean, they probably just cycled that for a card, right? This guy's good, but he's the randomness means that he doesn't always trade up, which is unfortunate. He's wow, no play on turn 3. Do I Dark Cultist or do I Stealth Tiger Panther? What am I going to do next turn? Do I want to be returning something to my hand? Not really, but he is pretty big. So will I play the taunt guy that can't be targeted? Or will I just be healing? He's going to drop a 4-drop, right? This is more likely to trade up than this is. But this can make my Shadow Boxer a big old... Like, I can probably trade these two up. This guy can crash in, so say if he drops Chillwind, yes, this guy crashes in, he becomes a 2/6, this crashes in, I heal, I drop the charge guy. Oh, I could just drop the charge guy anyway. Okay, it's not the thing that I thought it was going to be. Okay, so do I heal? Stop going for the face. Right, let's drop Charge Monkey. I really don't want to play this. If he plays a secret, then I will play this, and then I can play this. I shall not pass with the shield bearer. I'm gonna crash into my Dark Cultist? No, my Shadow Boxer. I've not been paying attention to my enemy's hand. You're going to crash into my Dark Cultist. Okay. This may cause you problems now. Well, Shrink Meister, you do nothing. Annoyingly, it's going to take me 2 turns to break through this. But oh well. Is this whenever a minion's healed? Whenever a character is healed? Oh, okay. So if I heal myself, this guy triggers. Maybe I should have been doing that in the last game. Was it the last game or the priest game? Priest game. That's why I was triggering when he was healing. It was the priest game. Ugh, Monsieur Taunt. Okay, so I could play the Brewmaster, flipping this back to my hand, -3ing this, and crashing both in here. Pretty sure this is the best play. I retain the board, I get rid of his worst creature. Oh my god, it's adverts all day on this at the moment, I'm sorry. God, why is there so many adverts? Might have to turn the music off, it's starting to irritate me. Where's my creature gone? Oh yeah, of course, he only had... Oh, it's only -2 attack! I'm an idiot. He's gonna have the Iron Bark. Oh, I've got the thing for the Iron Bark if he's got it. That was me misreading what the card did. I thought he did -3. It's because he's a 3/2. So he's still got the coin. We know he's still got the coin. He's got another one of those things. And he's gonna go +2/+2. Now I could have Ironbark, but I'm gonna go with don't particularly care. I want to get rid of this. Okay, so again we got the board. He could have Swipe. Swipe is not too bad on me. It kills my 5/4, and everything else survives. Okay, you're getting rid of my Shadow Boxer. Meh, that's pretty good. I think he's just drafted all the taunt guys. Like, all the taunt guys. And all the things that give taunt. Okay. Shield Master is gonna trade up to this. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to smash through with this. Let's draw the card as well and see what we get. It's another one of those guys. Have I got any decent battle cries? No. I've got a lot of 4-drops. Who's got the biggest power? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's drop this guy. I'll just play around the possibility that he will have the mind control tech. I know it's epic, but I really don't want to give him any reason to mess with my board. There's the Swipe. I'm going to be drawing some cards with my guys, unless you kill them again. You could even have a Swipe, I suppose. But I'll keep the Northshire Cleric. Okay. Another Strengthmeister. I'm going to play... not that... this guy? I'm going to play Stealth Tiger. And we'll leave it at that. You lay any dude, I'm going to take him. He's going to be mine. And I shall name him Fluffles forever. I should rephrase. If he plays any taunt guy... I'm gonna stay. Oh my... Druid of the Fang. 8. I'm gonna Thought Steal, Sun Fury Protector, and the Worgen Infiltrator. So yeah, he drafted a lot of taunt guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need to drop something, otherwise I'm gonna lose. I'll give this guy taunt. Otherwise I'd have lost the card from my turn. But again, I mean, he can mind control tech, steal one of my guys. If he manages to kill... there we go, okay. What's your other card? Just gonna have to do something. I'm sorry. It was not enough. Okay, so the mind control got me through that last bit. Hooray, 40 gold! So we're up to 2 wins. Let's go in and see if we can get our third. 2 wins, 2 losses. Not super great. I was kind of unsure about this deck. Another Pally. Okay, so we know we want the 2 drops. This is not a particularly good 3 drop as well. So let's see what we get. 3 drop and a 2 drop. Hooray! A better 3 drop, I should say. My turn. I shall greet you on my turn. Okay. I'm not super sure if this guy is actually that good. Like, he's great. He just keeps hitting them in the face though. And when stuff like this happens. To be honest, I wouldn't be able to trade up with him anyway. Need to remember to control the board, and I forgot. Oh, monkeys. Is he a 3 drop? He is. Magic detected. And it's not mine. You're a 4 drop. You're a 4 drop. -2, but I can only attack for 3. He's got a lot of 4 toughness, guys. I've just got adverts playing constantly on every single video today. Need a top deck. It's not a top deck that I wanted. Oh. What was my cultist on? Need to think through my turns a little bit more. So he's got a 4-1. Healing my guy is pointless at this point. Because if I heal it, he crashes in and I lose the heal. yeah, he loses his guy, but I'm not too bothered about him hitting my face for 4. Oh, if he's got consecration, I'm gonna be sad. No, he's got that annoying thing. Oh, he's playing Secret as well. Come on, Kazan Mystic. I need you, Kazan Mystic. You're not Kazan Mystic. I cannot kill you this turn. Mr. Death Rattle, taunty guy. Oh, I could with the charge, but I lose my guy as well. So if I return to my hand and play, that's 6 mana. I lose the +3 health bonus. So I could keep this guy and not the tiger. The tiger is removal. I need to think of the tiger's removal. Oh, nuts. So yeah, I lose the 3 health. The 2-1 defender is annoying. Couldn't have been much better. Oh, what this guy? There aren't that many good targets in my deck for this guy as well, unfortunately. Might of Kings. No, you're just gonna beef him up a little bit more. Oh, you know what? The music is going. I'm sorry. It is causing too many problems. Right, okay, I see what you did there. Oh, there's no point in me dropping the Northshire Cleric. It just dies. I need to Thought Steal and take Consecration out of his deck. And then I'm fine. No, I'm not. See what I get. Gotta be good. It ain't good. 7, 10. Well played. And that's the end. So I didn't even get the 4 wins. So I got 2 wins. I didn't think this deck was great. I've kind of proved that. I don't know if there were certain points where I could have played better. Drafted better, probably. I just didn't seem to have any removal, so we're going to have a pack and maybe some gold. 45 gold isn't terrible, so we're down 5 gold, and because of the other one, we negate it. We were up 5 gold on the last one, so it's not super bad. We still got 3 more quests with Paladin or Priest. Let's go have a look at what this pack was. What is in the contents of this pack? We have Crackle. Ooh, nice. I needed Crackle. A Shrinkmeister. You did nothing. What are you doing in this pack? The Arcane Nullifier, a Cogmaster, and my second Goblin Auto Barber. So, this is an okay pack for me. I quite like the Crackle and the Goblin Auto Blaster. The rest I'm a bit meh, unfussed about. I'm pretty sure I don't have anything to smelt down, but let's just double check. The little bottle is wobbling. Did I already have two Goblin Auto things? No. Definitely didn't have the Crackles. So where's my extra card to disenchant? Has anybody seen it? Says card that says ×3 on the bottom. I don't mind doing this, but I like to see which card I'm actually smelting down. Although it makes no difference. Which card was it? None of these say ×3 below them. Oh, there we go, it was the Shrinkmeister. After the debacle of the Gnomish World Enlarger, gnomes are very wary of size-changing inventions. Bet they are. These naughty little gnomes? Dwarves. Okay, so we've got enough to do another arena. We are 2 packs up, technically, because we've paid 150 gold. We've got 155 back. We then did another one, so we're 5 gold up, plus a pack and 30 dust, plus the dust from smelting, and we won 45 back. So we're 100 gold down, actually. Which kind of sucks, but oh well, these things kind of happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a full arena, because I don't know what time. We're a bit late starting from normal. So I mean, I could try and complete my Paladin or Priest quests in ranked. I'm currently ranked 16, except it probably says that I'm ranked 17. Yeah, it does. I thought I was ranked 17. I am wrong. Let's change this. Back down to 16. Okay, so yeah. Don't know what to do. I could start a new draft and talk through choices again and see what I'm gonna get. Shall we do that? We could do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab a quick drink, and then I'm going to be right back and we'll do the arena run through. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay guys, I'm back. So we're gonna go and jump into our next arena one. We're gonna do the same thing we usually do, which is we're going to be using a guide to help with our first 10 picks. We're gonna talk through them before we actually check out the guide. And then once we've done that, we're then gonna sort of step back, have a look at our deck, work out what is working, what isn't. The next 10 picks are gonna be done not using the guide, obviously, and then we're gonna do another step back, have a look, and then again not do any use of guides, etc. So our choices are Paladin, Druid, and Warrior. We know that the Warrior is not great, and I'm trying to remember which way around it is. So Paladin is in the good category and Druid is in the average category. So one of the things that Sheng recommends is having 3 classes that are your go-to classes of spells. Mine probably are going to be Mage, Rogue, and probably Paladin, to be honest. He seems pretty good. He's got a lot of good spells. He's got the Consecrations, which allows him to obviously mass remove the board, which is something that is really, really useful. We kind of struggled with in the last arena run. That chucked us down, unfortunately, to a lower amount than we really wanted to. So we're going to go for Uther. And let's set up. So we are going to be a Paladin. Okay, cool. So first up, we've got 3 generic rares, unfortunately, but these still work in our deck. So first of all, we've got Mad Bomber. He's slightly more crazy than the Mad Bomber. He deals 6 damage, randomly split between all other characters. So let's look at his stats. He's a 5 mana 5/4. His stats aren't super great. Like, he's fine, but he's a bit on the weak side. His ability has the potential to be really, really good or really, really bad. If it hits all of their stuff with all 6 damage and it just wipes their board, that's great. If it hits us a couple of times, then that's alright. If it kills our minions, then that's bad for us. We don't want to be playing on a completely empty board because that's just 6 damage, and not even all to their face. So, unsure. Next up, we've got the Imp Master. At the end of turn, deal 1 damage to this minion and summon a 1/1 Imp. She is a 3 mana 1/5. Stat wise, she's pretty good. Like, we kind of want from our 3 manas, we want like 3/4s and stuff. But she's got the 6 total stats between her, so she's going to survive. But she's going to slowly kill herself, and we'll get the Imps out, which allows us to have loads of little small minions out on the board, which is kind of cool. However, what I tend to find is she comes out, she hits herself once, she pops out a minion, and then she dies. So we get a 1/1 for 3 mana, and I don't think that's super great. And lastly, we have a 3 mana 2/3. 2/3 is kind of the stats that we want on our 2 drops, not our 3 drops. But she does have Taunt, and then she does gain Battlecry +1/+1 for each enemy Death Rattle minion. The Death Rattle is just going to be a nice to have bonus. It's unlikely that we're going to come across any Death Rattle decks, so she's not going to get super massive. So she's pretty much going to be a 3 mana 2/3 with Taunt. Taunt is fine, but it can. I mean, we want it on bigger creatures, bigger bummed creatures, because they're the ones that are going to keep us alive for a couple of turns or a couple of minions. She's not really going to do that. So my pick would probably just be the Mad Bomber, just because let's just do something crazy. But as always, with our first 10 picks, we are going to be going and checking out ADWCTA's Adwactor's guide on draft. We'll see where he ranks each of these creatures. So first of all, we've got the Mad Bomber. The Mad Bomber is ranked at 68. That's pretty good. And has second pick has lower value, and then the third pick has a far lower value. So he is a 68, which is pretty good actually. I'm surprised that he's rated. I mean, it's probably the whole he can remove our opponent's board. We kind of like the whole removing opponent's board thing. Imp Master, wow, okay, is also ranked at 68. I was kind of toying with the fact that they were rubbish, but let's see, can Little Exorcist is rated as 40 with second pick is lower, third pick is far lower. So our choices between the Mad Bomber and the Imp Master. I'm going to go with the Mad Bomber because he's mad and I want to go and do a crazy deck. Okay, so next up we've got the Mugushan Warden. He's a 1/7 with Taunt for 4 mana. So he's got the big bum that we said we needed on the Taunt, but he's got little power. So yes, he might stop 2 minions for a turn or two, but he's not going to kill them, he's not going to get them off the board, which is not great. Really, we kind of want him to be doing a bit more than that. So next up we got Blessing of Wisdom. Choose a minion whenever it attacks, draw a card. This is normally played on your opponent's minions because they're going to be attacking with it. If we put it on a little small thing, then they're not going to attack with it. If we put it on a big thing that they're going to attack with anyway, we get some card advantage out of it if we can't stop it in any other way. You can also put it on your own thing, but it's kind of a bit more of a win more situation, and it puts a big target on that minion to be killed. Blessing of Wisdom I feel is pretty good. Not entirely sure if I want it at this point, but it might be super good based on the guide. And last up is the Micro Machine. Micro Machine is, once it gets back to our turn, is a 3/2 for 2, which is one of the things that we really want. Is we want the 3/2s or the 2/3s at the 2 mana. On their turn, he's always a 2/2. That means that he's not going to have his full potential to trade into, but he can get stupid. He can start snowballing, and if he's left alone for a little bit, he can quite easily be 5 power on turn 4. That's terrible. On turn 4 he can be 5 power. That means he can really trade up if you can protect him or if nothing's coming out. So I mean, if you play him early, he's great. I mean, he's going to be turn 3 to be honest with, if you've got the coin. So it can start snowballing and getting out of control, which is something that is really useful to have and is quite good. So my choice of picks would probably be the Micro Machine, but we're going to have a look at the different cards and see where they turn up in this guide. So Mugushan is rated at 34. Not super great. Blessing of Wisdom is rated at 54 with a high first pick bonus, I think that is. Slight first pick bonus. Okay, so we're going to rate that at, we do the 3-point swing. So I'm not really sure if that's right, but if we're consistent about it, then it'll always be right. So we're going to rate that at about 57 at this moment in time. And we have a look at Micro Machine. Micro Machine is 52, so he's actually below the Blessing of Wisdom in a normal case scenario. So we're going to go with the guide and we're going to pick Blessing of Wisdom. I would probably be more happy with Micro Machine. Oh, what do I know? Oh look, there's another Micro Machine. So we've talked about the Micro Machine, exactly the same. Burly Rockjaw is a 4 mana 3/5. He's not quite at the stats of the Ironwind Yeti. However, if an opponent casts a spell, he gets +2 attack. So he's a 5/5 for 4. But our opponent's going to play around that. Normally they'll play around it by killing him with the spell, or they just won't play any spells because they won't need to, and he'll just be a 4 mana 3/5. Which is fine. It's kind of a little bit of a drop, and if they do play a spell, then he does start improving, but he's a little bit on the rocky side. Last of all, we have the 1-drop Zombie Chow. Zombie Chow is 2/3, Death Rattle, restore 5 health to the enemy hero. Normally we're going to be using him to crash into their minions. We're not actually going to be worried about the health because we're just using him to clear the board. We want him early on in the game, just so we can start taking out their things. We're not going to hit him with the face. If we have to hit with the face, then it comes a little bit clunky, and we don't really want it. He's much better in ranked because you have 2 in your deck, and he's much more likely to be drawn. So we'd have to be drawing 2 of them. Now, in this situation, I kind of want the 2-drop. I probably would be going for the Micro Machine over the Zombie Chow. I don't know. I mean, he's probably still really good in Arena, but the less consistency of getting him out means that, and the 5 health to the enemy hero can, if it's later in the game, we just don't want to play him because he is going to cause problems. Because we need to be chipping down at every single tiny point that we can. and he's going to be working against that. So I think in Arena he's probably not that great, and we'll be going for the Micro Machine instead. So the Micro Machine was 52. Let's have a look at the Burly Rockjaw Trog. Is rated at 60. Blimey, I am surprised. I am super surprised at that. And Zombie Chow is... Whoa! Okay, so Zombie Chow is good in Arena. So I am completely wrong, because I was saying that Micro Machine is the best, then probably the Rockjaw, and then the Zombie Chow. And actually it's Zombie Chow, Burly Rockjaw, Micro Machine. The Zombie Chow is rated at 76, which is pretty crazy, really. What I'm going to do as well, just because this will be my second pick at number 1, is if I start getting stuff that comes up and I'm just getting one drop, I don't want to skew my curve too much, so I'm going to possibly ignore this guide if it becomes too much of a problem. Normally what happens is I get this fairly flat mana curve once I've come out in the first 10 picks, but I'm just going to be aware of that this time, because I think in the last draft I kind of ignored the removal when I really shouldn't have. I should have just gone with I need the removal rather than the 2-drop menu. So, see, because look what's going to happen. Do we have any mechs? No. Okay, so we've got the 3-mana, 1/4 with Taunt. This guy is fine, but he's a bit boring. He, again, like with the Mogoshun, he doesn't kill stuff, he just is a bit of a roadblock for a turn. The Cogmaster is a 1-mana 1/2, which is fine. I mean, we don't really want to be playing that at 1 mana, but he has +2 attack when you have a mech, at which point he's got those 3/2 stats. We have no mechs, but this is early in the draft, we might be able to start bringing into those mechs, and then he might actually be pretty good at trading up, or just getting in a couple bit of extra damage later in the game. And then last of all, we've got the 3-mana 5/1 Magma Rager, who just dies to so much stuff. Like, I feel that this guy is probably the weakest pick. The Cogmaster is probably our pick, despite the fact of what I just said, that we don't want too many 1-drops. Blessing and Wisdom is kind of not really a 1-drop. We're not playing it on turn 1, we're playing it as a little spell later in the turns. So say turn 4 we wanted to cast it on a Meridian Infantry or something. So it's probably going to be the Cogmaster here, but let's have a look. The Meridian Infantry is rated at 30. Cogmaster is rated as 38, and Magma Rager is rated at 16. So, yep, it is going to be the Cogmaster. We're going to have to try and remember that we need mechs to make this work. And, I mean, we might get mechs, we might not get mechs. He might just be this boring 1/2. I mean, we had that 1 mana 2/1 that had +2 health if he had a dragon, and we drafted no other dragons. I don't even think we were offered any other dragons. So, next up we've got the 3-mana 2/3 Tauren Warrior, Taunt and Enrage +3 attack. So again, he's got a little bum, which means that he's not going to really be killing that much stuff. If he gets enraged, then yes, he probably is going to be killing stuff, but they're probably going to kill him in 1 hit, unfortunately. So I feel that this guy is probably going to be weak. Next up we got Solemn Vigil, draw 2 cards, cost 1 less for each minion to die this turn. Like, this is pretty good. Like, if you can set it up and draw stuff, then you're going to be trading away your spells, and then you cast it for a cheap amount and refill your hand a little bit and then get it down. It's card draw. We like having card draw in our arena deck, because it allows us to have more consistency and not worry about too many draws. So I am tempted by the Solemn Vigil. However, we have this thing that on the face of it looks really boring. He's a 6-mana 6/7 Boulder Fist Ogre, but he is one of the powerhouses of Arena. He is ridiculously good. He avoids like big game hunter and stuff that can swing for the 7 power. He's still pretty big. He can trade multiple things and stay alive, and he is obviously a game-winning spell. Like, he can crash in and cause a serious amount of damage over a number of turns. So I'm probably going to say it's going to be the Boulder Fist Ogre, but let's have a look. Tauren Warrior is rated at 24. Didn't think it was going to be that high. It's surprising that it's that high. Solemn Vigil is rated at 56 with a slight first pick bonus, so we're going to rate him at 59. And the Boulder Fist, let's try and do this. Boulder Fist Ogre is rated at 70, so the Solemn Vigil doesn't actually quite make the cut by quite a bit. Maths, again, I thought it was 69. So Boulder Fist is the pick here, and is the one that I would have gone for anyway, so I'm quite happy with that. So at the moment we've got a bit of a gap between our stuff, but we do have our 5-drop and our 6-drop that we're quite happy with, and we're possibly going to have a 7-drop coming up. So first of all, we've got the 1 mana 1/4 Lights Justice. We're never really going to be using this to hit our opponent's face. We're going to be using this to chip away at minions or kill minions, being the kill spell on minions. It causes them to not play any X1s on the earlier turns, if they have them, because we can just get through them. We don't mind trading too much health, like a little bit of health, because it's just, they're going to hit us anyway. So if we hit them first, their minion's gone, they can't hit us twice. Next up we have Humility. Change a minion's attack to 1. Can be useful, can stop a lot of things and just cause them to be big old walls, really. But it doesn't really do much. It doesn't do a super amount. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. I think the Lights Justice is going to get it here. But, I mean, these are both 1 mana, which makes me more tempted to take the big old 7-drop. Guardian of Kings, I think, is stat-wise is pretty poor. Like, 5/6 for 7 mana is not great. However, he does restore 6 health to you, which means that you can swing back the life points from earlier in the game. And that can kind of carry you enough to be able to just use him. He's also fairly difficult to deal with. A lot of things would have to trade up into him. Obviously, we don't want to draw him too early, but he can be quite useful as, again, a late game finisher. But we are going to have a look at what the guide recommends. So Lights Justice is rated at 52, with a second pick has lower value, third has further lower value. So that's a 52. Humility. Oh, I cannot spell. Humility. Oh, I still can't spell. Humility. Am I spelling it right now? Humility is rated at 48, with a lesser second pick, worse third pick. So Lights Justice is currently winning. Let's see where the Guardian comes in. Guardian of Kings is rated at 66. So Guardian of Kings is our better pick here. Deck-wise, he's also better for our deck because we've got quite a lot of 1-drops coming in. He's a late game thing. We kind of want maybe 1 or 2 7-drop things. It depends on what they are. Depends what we're offered in our draft. But I think that the Guardian Kings is going to be our pick. Ooh. Okay, so we've got the 7 mana Stormwind Champion. Other minions have +1/+1. This is pretty good in Paladin because our hero power is going to be pushing out a lot of 1/1 minions. This gives them the ability to be 2/2 minions, which can cause a lot of problems, especially later in the game. His stat line isn't great, but it's still pretty good. It's still useful for us. It's a still pretty big body. He's bigger than the Guardian of Kings. He does more than the Guardian of Kings, really. But he kind of needs a lot of minions to be built around. So he's fine, but he's probably not going to be our pick because we've got the True Silver Champion. True Silver Champion is really good. It's the 4 mana, 4 damage, only 2 health, but it allows us to clear big minions off the board. It can be a surprise out of nowhere because we can attack on the turn that we equip the weapon. Obviously there's weapon destroying effects, but it doesn't really matter. Like this can swing stuff, and the restore 2 health, it gives us the ability to take out a lot of stuff, and the pain of damaging stuff is actually offset quite a lot by the fact that we're going to have that little bit of extra health given to us. And last of all, we've got the Youthful Brewmaster. So he's one of our 2 mana 3/2 type of cards, and he's got the Battle Cry, return friendly minion for Battlefield hand. I'm assuming he's going to be working like the Ancient Brewmaster, and you don't actually have to bounce him if he's played onto an empty board, which is useful to know because I was kind of rating him as he's going to bounce himself, thus we're never going to play him on turn 2. So he's actually semi-decent. He works in our stats. He's going to be a Bloodflowing Rapture on turn 2. He can allow us to replay our Battle Cries, which currently is just going to be Matter Bomber. But Matter Bomber Battle Cry is fine. Like late in the game, if they've got nothing else to do, we're really behind, then maybe it is going to be Youthful Program Master, Matter Bomber back down, and just hope that we clear their board. But I'm almost certain it's going to be the True Silver champion here. And True Silver is the one that I would pick of if it was my choice. Stormwind champion. Wow, okay, Stormwind champion is rated at 76. He's actually rated higher than I thought he would be. I thought he was going to be down with the rubbish stuff. But anyway, yeah, so True Silver, sorry, what am I talking about? But True Silver champion is 86, so even higher than I thought, than the last one. Hold on, did I just say the same number twice? Did I type the wrong thing in? Okay, True Silver champion is 86, and Stormwind is 76. Now, okay, I'm getting confused. Okay, so these are both good cards, and Youthful Brewmaster is rated at 50. So it kind of worked in the order that I thought it was. I thought this would be a little bit lower. I thought it would be closer to the Youthful Brewmaster than the True Silver, but it's worth knowing that this is actually a pretty decent card. But we're going to take the True Silver champion. It is the better card. Oh look, we got another Stormwind. They really want us to take these guys. Okay, so first up we've got a 3 mana 3/3. Stat line, pretty decent. We quite like this. However, if we've got a mech, he gets 3 mana 4/4, which is really good. He doesn't have a downside. Like we have these, the Ogre Brute is a 3 mana 4/4 that has got 50% chance of hitting the wrong target, and we've got the 3 mana 4/4 Wall of Swords kind of thing, which if it dies, our opponent draws a card. Like, they've got big drawbacks for that. Obviously, we're not always going to get the 3 mana 3/3, and in our deck we have no mechs. So currently, he's not super great, but he is good. I mean, 3 mana 3/3 is a decent line to be going along. It's good. We're quite likely that this would be a high pick, but we have a Hungry Dragon. Hungry Dragon summons something for us to eat, because he is so starving. He beats our Stormwind Yeti stat line, which is the 4 mana 4/5, which is our kind of baseline of stats where we want to go, by an entire extra power and extra toughness. So he's really good. He's hard to remove. He beats down. He is kind of he's a good card. He's a good, nice card to take. And the drawback is generally not too bad. A 1-cost minion. Normally, we're not too worried about 1-cost minions. There are a few. I think there's the 3/2 with Wind Fury in Shaman that can cause big problems, but it's unlikely. So, I mean, this is pretty good. And obviously, we know about Stormwind Champion being pretty high up on the list. So, the Stormwind Champion, I believe, was the 76, but I got super confused. So, let's just double check. Yep, Stormwind Champion is 76. The Hungry Dragon is only 60, surprisingly, so Stormwind Champion is better. And the Tinker Town Technician is 50. So, what do we go for? Like, this is where we might break from the guide, because this fits into our curve better. We don't want to be taking too many late game things and not having enough minions early on. I mean, the guide is recommending that we take the Stormwind Champion. At the moment, that doesn't really do much for us, and we could go with the Hungry Dragon instead. But I'm going to stick with... I mean, what we can do is, if out of these 10 picks we end up with loads of 7 drops, or late game stuff, then our next couple of picks and pick lines are going to be, we're going to be pushing down for the lower to the early game. We don't want to be stuck with loads of late game stuff, but picking up our late game stuff now is fine. I mean, we're not guaranteed to hit anything better. We could be guaranteed to hit something better. He does work with my hero ability. Consecration is 4 mana. We do want some 4-drop minions though. We'll stick with the guide for now and regret it later. We have no 4-drops. Oh, but here's a 4-drop, Blessing of Kings. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that was the best. We kind of want to tail off towards the end, but... Oh. So, let's have a look. We got Blessing of Kings. Blessing of Kings is really, really good. Blessing of Kings gives us a win condition, sometimes allows us to punch through. It also makes our little 1-1, what are they called? Stormwind Knights? Or Stormwind Recruits? Silverhand Recruits, that's what they're called. It makes our Silverhand Recruits into 5/5s, which is pretty good for a single card. It means we're always going to have the ability to find something in our deck to target this. It's the same with all of the Paladin spells. We're unlikely to ever be able to not have something, but we probably don't want to be putting this on a 1/1, whereas this we do want to be putting on a 1/1. So Blessing of Kings is pretty good. Next up we got Avenge. It's a secret. Whenever a friendly minion dies, give a random friendly minion +3/+2. So if we've only got one minion on board, and again we're probably going to be able to make another minion, this can make a threat. So it can make our 1/1 into a 4/3. It can make one of our other minions into an even bigger thing. However, we can't target, and our opponent can sort of eke things around. So if we only had a 1/1 and something bigger, they could kill the bigger thing first. Our 1/1 gets bigger, but then they're probably likely going to be able to kill that as well. So I think it's good, but I'm probably sure that Blessing of Kings is going to be a pick. But Repentance, I've not seen this before. So this is 1 mana, secret again. When your opponent plays a minion, reduce its health to 1. Oh, I have seen this before. Okay, so Repentance is good. It's bad early in the game. It's really good later in the game, because we can chip something down to a really small amount, and then our trusty recruits can just run in and kill it. If it gets it on a decent big size taunt like the Ironbark Protector, it's just like, I just spent like 8 mana for an 8/8 and I've got an 8/1 that's going to die to a 2 mana 1/1. So I mean this is good as well. But I would pick the Blessing of Kings here. We'll have a look at what the guide is going to tell me. Blessing of Kings is rated at 76 with a slight bonus to first picking, which means we're going to rate him at 79. Avenge is rated at 54, and Repentance is rated at 34. Okay, so the Avenge is actually better than the Repentance, but as I suspected, the Blessing of Kings is the spell to be going for. Ooh, okay. So, first up, we've got Aldor Peacekeeper. 3 mana 3/3, as we said before. We didn't actually pick our 3 mana 3/3, but he's a 3 mana 3/3, which is fine. 3 mana 3/3s are fine. We don't want too many of them, but this guy's alright. Change an enemy's attack to 1. It's like the Ironbark Protector, except we're not going to be able to crash through quite so much, but it does mean we can stop one of our opponent's big old threats being too much of a problem and just make him into that 1x wall that we're not too worried about. Next up we've got the Argent Commander. He is a 6 mana 4/2 with charge. He is sort of like our True Silver Champion. He can give 4 power onto the board and suddenly crash it. The Divine Shield means he's going to stick around and be a problem. He's used a lot, and I've seen him quite a lot in a lot of decks I've played against in Arena, and it can be super annoying, and every time he comes out it's just like, ugh. It's got the Divine Shield, which is the thing that causes the problems. If you do him on an empty board, he's like 8 damage, unless they can really deal with him next turn by using 2 spells. So he's going to give us some form of card advantage when we play him. And he can clear things out of the way suddenly. I mean, turn 10, for some reason, we can Blessing of Kings him. He's going to cause a mass load of damage out of nowhere. Last of all, we've got the Blessed Champion. Blessed Champion allows us to double a minion's attack. Again, we're always going to have targets, but we're not going to really want to cast this on our 1/1s. It can be a sudden swing late in the game to cause one of our minions that was like on 5 or 6 to suddenly be doing 10 or 12 damage out of nowhere, which means we're kind of doing the thing with like a Pyroblast. We're trying to get them down to that sort of 10 health region, and then we just cast it and then just swing in for the win. But early game is going to gum up our hand, and I mean all of these two are both going to gum up our hand. This is going to, more than often, we're probably not going to have that many targets we're going to want to cast this on. whereas we're probably more likely to be going for this guy. So I'm going to say that Argent Commander is our pick here, but as always, let's go have a look and see what the guide tells us is the thing to go for at this moment in time. So, Oldar Peacekeeper. Ooh, wow. He's got a value of 100. I've never seen that before. So, it's got a value of 100. I'm not sure anything's going to beat that. Argent Commander is rated at 80. So he was pretty good, but he doesn't beat that 100. And Blessed Champion is rated as 30. So I'm surprised how good this guy is rated at. This proves how bad I am at these drafts. I mean, I would have taken this, but I guess it's just the whole, you just change an enemy's attack to 1. That's gonna cause them a lot of problems, right? Okay, so we've now hit our 10th pick, which means we are now gonna lose the guide. The guide is gone. We're gonna be going on our own knowledge plus stuff that we can remember from the guide, but we're not actually going to use the guide to continue on with these picks anymore. But first of all, we're going to have a look at our deck, see what our deck kind of wants to do, and see where our big holes are, because at the moment what we have is we have 0 mechs for our mech guy, which is fine. He could get better later on, but we may be able to pick up a mech or 2 later on. But what we can see is we've got, down on our mana curve, we have 0 2-drops. We don't really care about having 0 1-drops. We want to have something in every one of these slots, at least. But we really want a mass of 2, 4, and a lot more 3-drops. Our 1-drops at the moment are fine. Both of these 1-drops are fine, and Blessing of Wisdom is not really a 1-drop. We're going to be pushing that later in the game. But we need 2-drops, and we need 4-drops. We need more 3-drops, and we need them to be creatures as well, because we need to be able to do stuff on these turns. So we kind of know where we're going to be pushing up stuff to make it better, based on mana curve. The other things we want is we probably want a little bit of card draw, a little bit more card draw. We've only got the Blessing of Wisdom, which is going to be slow card draw and is reliant on our opponent not removing their threat, or us not removing an opponent's threat, them deciding not to attack with it, or if we put it on our thing, our opponent removing it. So we kind of want some form of card draw, just so that we can make sure our deck is a little bit more consistent. We also want removal. So at the moment, our removal is True Silver Champion, and technically Blessing of Kings, and Matter Bomber if we're lucky. So let's jump back into our picks. First up, we got Avenge. We know that Avenge was pretty good and had a fairly decent pick bonus. We've talked about it before. We've also talked about Blessing of Wisdom before. What we can remember from Blessing of Wisdom is that it's got a lower second pick. So although it's card draw, it's got a lower second pick. We kind of want different card draw, something else to do. The other thing as well is these are both 1 mana. While we probably won't play them on turn 1, we'll want to play them later. We don't want them to be. We don't want to be drawing in. We want to be drawing in stuff that will make us have threats and presence on the board. So we've got a 4 mana 4/4 here with spell damage +1. At the moment, that spell damage +1 is useless, but a 4 mana 4/4 isn't terrible stat wise. If we go for the Yeti, Chillwind Yeti, he's just missing a single point of health, which is somewhat problematic. He won't trade with a Chillwind Yeti, but the spell damage +1, if we get some consecrations, he's going to be super useful if we can stick him for a little bit. There's also a couple of other damage spells, I believe, in Paladin, and he fits into our 4-drop idea. Gives us board presence, gives us a minion, and whilst I would like these, I don't want to be taking too many things when I could be taking stuff that's going to be... I mean, if I had 3 spells, then maybe I'll be going for one of these, but this is a dude and I kind of need some dudes. So I'm going to take the Ogre Magi, and that may or may not be the right idea. Okay, so next up, we obviously are going to be taking this Consecration, because we just talked about it. Consecration is one of these board wipe spells in Arena. Yes, it doesn't take out everything quite so much as Flame Strike does, but it can be used to our advantage. We can trade up some of our guys if necessary, and then Consecration. It also damages the enemy hero, which can become relevant towards the end. It's an all-round great spell, and we are going to be taking the Consecration. Let's just see what we're going to be missing. So Dragonling mechanic is not that great. It summons a couple of bodies that is good for our Stormwind champion, but the 2/1 is normally going to die and isn't going to trade too evenly. It's technically got the stats of the Chillwind Yeti across 2 bodies, but it's not really super great. If we were doing sort of like a mad rush Stormwind, multiple Stormwind champion deck, then yeah, this would be higher up. And Lepinome is pretty good. He's a 1-mana 2/1, and he's got the deal 2 damage, so he's always going to deal 2 damage. He's normally going to deal 4. Your opponent's going to want to deal with him pretty quickly, because if they don't, they're just going to be taking 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, and then this is going to actually become more of a problem, more of a threat. But as we said before, we've got our 1-drops. We don't really want to get too many more unless we're forced into picking them, and there's a Consecration here, so we're going to take the Consecration. Okay, so next up we've got Noble Sacrifice. Is a 1-mana. When an enemy attacks, summon a 2/1 defender as the new target. So this worked really well against that Panther last round. If I hadn't done that, would it have caused much of a problem? Probably. I mean, it was a really good play, and I didn't play around it, and that's because I didn't really think about it, and I don't know many of the secrets in this game. So Noble Sacrifice is a fine spell, but again, it's a 1-mana thing. It's going to protect us. It's going to protect one of our minions potentially, but there's probably better stuff we can do. We've got the 2-mana 1/4 Nurubar Weblord. Nurubar Weblord is an okay spell. Makes our Battlecry minions cost more, makes their Battlecry minions cost more. It's probably going to hurt us as much as it hurts our opponents. We've got a few Battlecry guys already, and he's pretty weak. He's going to stick around for a bit, but he's not going to be able to trade up too much, which means our opponent is going to have the choice of what to do with him. So I'm probably not going to pick him, and we're probably going to go for this Mad Bomber. We're going to go for a Mad Bomber deck. His little brother to the big Madder Bomber. Mad Bomber is pretty good. He's got the stats that we want, the 2-mana 3/2 at 2 mana. He's got a fairly relevant ability. He's got the ability to ping out some stuff, allow us to swing some stuff. It's all random, and it could cause problems, but he's generally going to be pretty good. And on turn 2, if we play him and he hits us for 3, he's a bad Mad Bomber, but it's a bit of a swing that we can just deal with. But if he takes out, say, our opponent's 3 health thing, or if he takes out 3 1 health things, then he is super valuable. He can be his own little sort of mini Consecration in certain cases, and he can attack. He can trade up and attack because he's got that 3 attack power. So we're quite happy taking him because we've got no 2-drops. We want the 2-drops, so he fits into our curve and does everything that we really want to do. Okay, so first of all, we've got a War Golem, 7/7/7. He's fine for his stats, but he's a bit boring. We also have sort of our late game drops. We don't really care about our late game drops if we don't get any more, because we've got these sort of 3, technically 4 kind of guys that we kind of want to be doing late game. We've got the Solemn Vigil again. We like the Solemn Vigil. It's card draw. We wanted more card draw. We can set it up to make it cost less, and sometimes 5 mana for 2 cards is bad, but we're going to need to do it. And last of all, we've got the Sen'jin Shieldmaster. Now, we have quite a lot of 4-drops at the moment. This guy is a basic, and this guy's a common. So we're going to see more basics. So we've got the potential to see more of these. He is pretty good. We do like the Sen'jin Shieldmaster. But I want the card draw at this moment in time. So I'm going to take the card draw, and we'll continue stocking up on minions a little bit later on. Okay, so we've got another Nerubar I can't say this guy, Weblord. Again, he's a 2-mana minion, so we do want 2-mana minions, but we probably don't want this particular 2-mana minion. So I'm going to ignore him, and we'll go for the 5-drops. So we've got the Salty Dog, it's just a 7/4, and we've got the Silver Hand, who's a 4/4 plus a 2/2 squire. So stat-wise, this guy technically is better on power. This guy is technically better on defense because we've got the 6 defense and 6 attack. Now, both of them are pretty decent stat-wise. They're a bit lower down than we really want. However, this guy is probably going to be better most of the time. He gives us 2 bodies to deal with. Our opponent has to deal with 2 things. If we have Storm Champion out, he's going to be much better than the Salty Dog. Technically, we'll get +2/+2 across our bodies rather than +1/+1. This guy trades up, obviously, but he is pretty weak. And if we lose this guy, we've still got a 2/2 that can cause some amount of problems for our opponent. We're going to go for the Silverhand Knight here over the other guy. Okay, so we're probably going to be taking this Consecration. Take all the Consecrations that you can. So we've got, let's just have a quick look. We've got the Elven Archer, which is 1 mana 1/1. We don't really want the 1-drops. It doesn't really do much for us. We've got the 4 mana 3/3 and costs 1 less for the attack of our weapon. We've only got 1 weapon at the moment, so he would be a 3/3 taunt. Again, he's not going to stop that much. Iron Fur Grizzly is fine, but he's not gonna stop too many things. Whereas this is going to stop a lot of things. Even on turn 4, potentially later in the game. I mean, it's just super good. I mean, we're going to take the Consecration. Okay, so now we've got a choice between. We're not going to pick the Mogashon Water, so we've got 2 taunt guys. We've got the 4 mana 3/3 that could be at the moment free. But we'd still be technically dropping him on turn 4 because we'd have to do the True Silver Champion and then the Dread Corsair. We kind of want 4-drops, but we kind of need 2-drops. This is a weak 2-drop. He's not great. He does bring in the 2 mana 3/2 stats, but our opponent has the choice of which one to attack or deal with first, and they're probably going to deal with the bigger body, or the bigger attack power first, which means that we don't get the choice that we do from like the Mad Bomber. So I don't know which one I pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm reaching the end of my 4-drops, really. This guy works with Stormwind Champion. He's not great, but I feel I need the 2-drops more than I need the Dread Corsair or the Mogashon Warden. Like, this might be one of these ones where it's the wrong thing to do in this deck, but I feel we've got to the midway point. We're still bad in 2-drops. We haven't been offered super amounts of 2-drops. And we're happy with our 4-drops at the moment. If we don't get too many more 4-drops, then we're not in super bad place. Whereas if we don't draw too many more 2-drops, then we are going to be in a bad place. So I'm going to take the Murloc Tidehunter and just suck it up. Okay, so I don't like this. Is a 2 mana restore 6 health. Like, restoring 6 health on this guy is fine because we get a body behind. This is just durdles. It does nothing for our board. Yes, it might keep us out of range of a kill spell, but we're just going to die the next turn because we're not going to be able to do anything else. So I'm not going to pick this. And maybe Holy Light is like super great, but I'm going to go with it's not super great. So we've got the Noble Sacrifice back. I say back, this isn't like a Magic Draft, but we've got another Noble Sacrifice. So we can use this as a point. If our opponent is good and not is better than I am, then maybe they'll expect it and they'll crash in a 1/1 first, just so in case they hit the 2/1 defender. But it could be useful. And then we've got the Burly Rockjaw Chokra. Now remember, the Burly Rockjaw was actually rated pretty highly. I know I said that I didn't really want any more. I was happy with my 4-drops, but that was because we had a 2-drop, and the 2-drop here is not really a drop, it's just a 2 that we don't want. So yes, Noble Sacrifice would be quite nice, but I'm going to take the Burly Rockjaw Chokra, and we're going to see how he works out, because he might be really good. He could stop our opponent from playing a spell at a point that is actually relevant, and that could allow us to swing the game a little bit in our favour. Okay, so first up we've got Blessing of Kings again. So the Blessing of Kings is a good spell, but it's a 4 mana spell, and we know that it had the slight negative pick based on what was going on, based on the second one being a slight negative pick. So we could take this, but that pretty much caps us out of 4-drops, and we will get no other 4-drops. And I mean, if we draw another Consecration, I mean, we want to take the Consecration. Like, if we had 3 Consecrations in our deck, then that's fine. We just play the control game and keep our little 1/1s alive and just consecrate constantly. So next up, we've got the Direwolf Alpha, 2 mana, 2/2. He doesn't have the stats that we really want at the 2 mana, but he allows us to swing up some of our other guys. On turn 2, he's bad, but Murloc Tidehunter can get the extra points of power. We've got the Silverhand Knight can also get the extra points of power. I mean, anything can get the extra points of power, including our 1/1 minions. So I mean, he could be pretty good. However, we've got a Mech Warper. Now, we don't have many mechs. In fact, we have 0 mechs. But we have the Cogmaster that requires a mech, and if we have any more mechs, this guy's actually really good. So I mean, the Cogwork Yeti is a Chillwind Yeti that's better, and is a mech, and if we can get him on the board a turn earlier, then that could be super good for us. I mean, we'd have to draw him. It's between these 2 drops. I mean, our 4 drops are pretty high. Blessing of Kings is good, but it's between these 2. We wanted a mech for this guy. This is our mech. Now, we're losing a Direwolf Alpha. That could be a problem, but I think that we're in a pretty decent state at this moment in time, and the Mech Warper is going to be better for us. It fits the stats, 2 mana, 2/3. We've got technically 2 3/2s, so a 2 mana 2/3 gives us a little bit of options on the second turn. So I'm going to take the Mech Warper. Okay, so we've got Light Warden. Whenever a character's healed, gain 2 attack. We don't really have any way of healing, so this is useful in a priest. I'm sure there is use for it in a paladin, but probably not, to be honest. It's also a 1 mana. We don't want to draw into too many more 1 manas, and so Emperor Cobra, 3 mana, 2/3. Stat wise, not super great. Destroy any minion, destroy any minion damaged by this minion. So this can kill some big things, but we're going to drop it, and our opponents are going to get the initiative to take it out with something that's smaller, so we can't necessarily hit stuff. If we're ahead on board, then yeah, that's great. Say our opponent has nothing, we drop this, then it makes their choices of dropping stuff harder. But nah, he's not super great, and we know that this Outlaw Peacekeeper is rated really, really highly at 100 with no negatives for taking more. He is a 3 mana 3/3. His stats are good. He can cause a minion to go to 1, which is not quite the same as this, but it means our opponent's going to have problems, and they can't react to the power going down to 1, whereas they can react to this being on the board. They can go, right, well, I'm not going to drop my big things just yet. I'm going to get rid of it first, then drop my big things. Whereas this guy has the battle cry. It's happened. Tough. I mean, if they can raise its power by some other thing, then that's fine. I mean, they're going to have that anyway. So I'm going to take the Aldor Peacekeeper and raise our 3 drops slightly. So let's go back into our list of cards. So we kind of have we've got 1 mech. More mechs would be good, because we've now got the Mech Warper, which allows us to bring in more mechs at a cheaper cost. It allows our deck to be a little bit more consistent. We still don't have that much card draw. We've got 2, and we could probably assume that we'll get 2 from this. We kind of want 5, so I mean, technically we could get 5 from the Blessing of Wisdom, but we're going to assume that we're probably going to be about 4 on the Blessing of Wisdom. There's a bit of a push to get 2 triggers out of it. We've only got 2 draw from this. We've got no other card draw, so card draw is good to have. We've got the 2 Consecrations and the True Silver, and technically Blessing Kings, Mad Bomber, Madder Bomber, but removal is still going to be pretty good for us to have. Any removal that we can grab, we're probably still going to want to grab it. And lastly, let's go to our minion curve, or our drop curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 4-drops. We can probably push this up a little bit more. Probably don't want to push up our 5 drops too much, or our 6 drops. We don't want to push up our 1s if we can help it, or our 0s. We want to push up our 2 drops quite a bit. This is where we're going to have some problems at the moment in time. We probably want to push up the 3 drops a little bit. So of our 2 drops, we've got 3, say 4 more 2 drops, ideally. That leaves us with 6 cards, so We will lose 1 on the 3 drop, maybe 1 more on the 4 drop, another 1 on the 4 drop, another 1 on the 2 drop, another 5 drop, and another 6 drop. Roughly. Like, it's all gonna change. So that's kind of where we're looking, I guess, at this moment in time. So no more 1 drops. Try not to get 5 drop unless it's super great. Same with a 6 drop. No 0 drops unless it's broken, but I don't think we're going to get any. Maybe a couple more 3 drops. So let's jump in and have a look at what our next set of picks are going to be. So first of all, we've got the Iron Beak Cow. His stats are great. 2 mana, 2/1. They're weak for the 2 mana slot. However, we're never really going to drop him on turn 1. His battle cry is where we're going to be utilising him. So we want to use this to get rid of a minion that we're going to have super amount of problem with, or something with taunt. Like one of the bigger taunts, it can just like reset it and then we can crash through. So we kind of want him to be a swing card. So he's not going to be played early, he's going to be played later on. We have the Tinkertown Technician, Battlecry if you have a mech, game +1/+1, and a spare part. So he kind of draws us sort of like half a card. So he's a bit of card draw. He works with mechs, but we only have 1 mech, so we're kind of going for best case scenario here. But he is still a 3 mana 3/3. We do already have 2 3 mana 3/3s, but another one is probably not going to be super bad to have. And last of all, we've got the Thrallmar Farseer, who's a 3 mana 2/3 of Wind Fury. So he's going to attack for 4 damage, but he's got a survive turn. He tends to not survive a turn because he's seen as a big threat. I mean, if he sticks and then we can Blessing of Kings, that's 12 damage out of nowhere. And he's probably going to live, like he's going to have 7 toughness. So I mean, he could be really good, but it's kind of like a best case scenario. Whereas this guy is better over this. Now we said we could go for a couple more of the 3 drops. Is this 3 drop good enough to remove a 2 drop? This isn't really a 2 drop. Like, it's got the silence, and we would like a silence, but I think we probably want the just generally better minion on turn 3, and can be super good as a 3 mana 4/4. So I'm going to take the Tinkertown and suffer when my opponents have ridiculous things to do. Okay, so we've got another Micro Machine. We need the 2 drops. We know we need the 2 drops. We've got a Scarlet Crusader who's a 3 mana 3/1. The sticks because it's got Divine Shield. This is pretty good. I mean, it's not a 3 mana 3/3, but it can hit 2 things that have got power of 3, for example. So this could be quite good, but again, it's going to push up our 3 drops. We kind of want more 2 drops. Blessing of Might is a 1 mana, give a minion +3 attack. This is sort of a removal spell. Like, we're kind of probably going to be casting it on our 1/1s that we're going to be popping out with the Hero Power. So it's going to make a 4/1. They can trade up to a lot of stuff. But it's a bit inconsistent. I mean, it can win. Do I take this? I don't know. I don't know which one to take. We're running out of time to take 2 drops. He's also a mech. That swings it. He's a mech. Mech Warper works, likes him. Tinkertown likes him. I'm going to take the Micro Machine. Okay, another. So we've got this 5 mana guy. Don't really need the 5 mana guys. He's not a particularly good 5 mana guy, so we're going to ignore him. We've already got a Guardian of Kings. Do we want another one? Maybe. It gives us the health swing. It's a big body. It's not super good for its cost, for its stats, but it can swing stuff. But we've got another Mech Warper, which allows our Cogmaster to be bigger. It allows our Tinkertown to be better. It can make our other Mech Warper cheaper if we somehow wanted. If we draw into a big mech in the next few things that costs 7, say, or 4, then it makes them a lot better. So I'm going to take the other Mech Warper. It is also another 2 mana 2/3. So this guy's technically a 3/2. This guy's technically a 3/2. He's a 2/3. He's a 3/2. So another 2/3 is good for us to have in our deck. Okay. So we've got a Bluegill Warrior. He's a 2/2/1 with charge. He's just damage out of nowhere. Unlikely to play him on turn 1. We've got a Humility. which is kind of like our what's his name, Oldar Peacekeepers. Or we've got Give a Minion Divine Shield. This could technically swing stuff, I guess. I mean, if we played it on, I don't know, something, and then crashed in with that something, then it could be good for us. Do we need the 2 drops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're kind of getting there on the 2 drops, so I don't feel I need to force the Bluegill Warrior. So I feel I could probably take one of these. So let's kind of choose between these. So humility means that if they had, say, a Boulder Fist Ogre, our Boulder Fist Ogre, so say we've got Boulder Fist, we change their Boulder Fist to an attack to 1, we can ignore it and just crash through. Obviously it can clear a lot of our stuff, but we could kill it in 2 hits, and we would take 2 damage on our Boulder Fist, so it would be a 6-5 remaining. Obviously this is all conjecture. If, however, we gave our Boulder Fist Divine Shield, we would crash in, and then he would be down to 1 health, ours would be fine, then they crash in, we would be down to 1 health. So the humility in that case is better. Is it better on all of our other stuff? Give a minion Divine Shield. Oh, I kind of want the Divine Shield to be on the like the minion that gives Divine Shield. How much do I really want to protect with Divine Shield? It allows me to make good trades. It can protect my dude. I don't have much taunt, so I can't protect a taunt guy. This could stop their big spell though, right? I really don't know. I really do not know. I mean, silence gets around this, and there's something else that gets around this, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm gonna go for humility. Maybe it was not the right choice, but I'm fine with that. Okay, so we've got a choice here. So we've got the Blessing of Wisdom again, which is the card draw. However, we've got a Clockwork Gnome that's likely to Death Rattle, which is our, I said before, is our half a card. He's a mech, so he works with our other mech kind of granting stuff. The Micro Machine is also a mech, so I mean, it's between these two. How many Micro Machines do we want? I don't know. I mean, neither of these get the bonuses from the mech warpers, really. I don't really want to push up my 3 drops even more. I mean, I could be going for the aggressive game and then double consecration, sudden end game, weak mid game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we want another 2 drop or do we want a 1 drop? You got a little bit of card draw on you. You can trade up to some stuff on turn 2, but not a lot. You could probably trade up more. Plus, if I can protect you late game, you're better. You'll just draw half a card late game. Oh, again, I don't know. I feel I should go for the 2 drop because I did say that I was going to push on my 2 drops. So let's go for the Micro Machine. Okay, so we've got Eye for an Eye. When your hero takes damage, deal that much damage to your hero. This can be okay, but normally it's not. There's a lot of the case with a lot of these things. But our opponent is possibly going to play around it. We don't have any other secrets. If they crash through with a Boulder Fist and we deal 6 damage to them, if we haven't dealt with that Boulder Fist, then we're going to be having problems anyway, regardless. We did say about taking a 5-drop. I think I've taken a 5-drop since that point. Oh, I took the Solemn Vigil. So, I mean, we've got a choice between... This guy is probably not very great. He's a 5 mana 5/4. He's going to die to a lot of things. This guy can swing some combat damage our way. He could technically give us, after a Consecration, the ability to finish something off, or if we're at 9 mana, he could take out something that's 4 power, and then 4 power, 4 toughness, and then 4 toughness again. I think this is too much of a... It doesn't do anything to affect the board. Like, if it dealt the damage to the minion that attacked, then maybe. But I mean, if the stats are offset, then it's not going to matter, right? I'm going to take the Stormpike Commando. Okay, so we've got another 2-drop and another 4-drop, so it's probably going to be between these two. Repentance is fine, but it's probably going to be between these two. Whenever I target this minion with a spell, gain +1/+1. So I could Blessing of Wisdom it. I could Humility it. I've got the... where are they? I could... No, spell. Spare Part technically counts. Blessing of Kings technically counts. And that's it. So I mean, I've got a couple of ways of turning this on. And then he's a 4 mana 4/6. Harder to deal damage through. But do I want another Mad Bomber? I did say I was going for a mad deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be my 7th 2-drop. Yeah, let's go Mad Bomber. Let's go mad. Absolutely mad. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably don't want any more 2-drops. We do have a Youthful Brewmaster, which allows us to reuse our 2-drops. He's a 3/2, you're a 2/3, so we're offset. You're technically a 3/2, so we're offset that way. You're also 3/2, so we're kind of 3/2ing aggressive. What are our battle cries? We've got Mad Bomber twice. We've got Tidehunter, that's bad. We've got double Aldor, that's pretty good. We've got Tinkertown, that could be decent. We've got the Mad Bomber, we've got the Silver Hand, we've got the Stormpike, we've got the Guardian of Kings. I mean, we could take another Guardian of Kings here. I don't really want the Elven Archer. The Guardian of Kings is fine. But this guy could do some work for us. I kind of need the 4-drops to come out, like 2 more 4-drops. Oh, do I take the Guardian of Kings? He's just big and hard to deal with. We're doing a Mad Bomber deck. And what's better than 3 Mad Bombers? Then technically a 4th, so we'll go for this guy. Screw it. That was a free draft. No, it wasn't. Whoops. Okay, so... Oh, look. Oh no, that's Battle Cry. It's Return to Life. That's when you cast it from your hand, isn't it? Can you give me the stats for Battle Cry, please? Battle Cry. Tell me what Battle Cry does. I think Battle Cry is when you cast it. Which means that it won't trigger my Mad Bombers. Makes me sad. I kind of wanted another thing to Mad Bomber. Okay, so we've got a choice between a big old 7/4 or a 2/7 that gets +3 attack. Have I got any way of dealing damage to my own guys? Mad Bombers. Mad Bombers do it. Mad Bombers would do it. Okay. Is there any spare part that deals damage? Like 1 damage, maybe? That's enemies, doesn't help me. Stormpike Commando. Oh, it's another 5-drop. I'm gonna have to take the 5-drop over the redemption. Return it to life with 1 health. I mean, if they killed one of my minions, they're probably gonna kill some of my other minions. It's another 1-drop. This is another 5-drop. So you know what? Let's go for the... I'm going to play Gurubashi Berserker. And then the hope is I Mad Bomber, he gets hit 3 times. And then I Mad Bomber, and he gets hit 3 more times, and then I win. Because that is, what? 18 attack power. It's for the dream. The dream of the Mad Bomberness. What am I doing with all these 5-drops? First minion you cast each turn costs 1 less. And she's alright. So the Grim Patron isn't meant to be that good in this, but I mean, I've got the Mad Bomber stuff going on. But I've got targets for Mad Bomber. It would be another 5-drop, but putting me in line with 4-drops here. Whereas I could have the Violet Teacher. So Violet Teacher's got 1 target, 2 targets. Oh wait, hold on. 1 target, 2 targets. Three targets technically with the spare part. That doesn't count as spell. 4 targets, 5, 6 targets, 7 targets. It's got 7 ways of triggering it. 4 mana, 3, 5 is not shabby. I mean, it beats this, because I'm not going to be able to trigger this multiple times, I don't think. Unless we get the Dream of Mad Bomber, hit that. Mad Bomber, hit that. But then they don't have haste. So they're just going to die. I think the Violet Teacher is the better pick here. It fits better in the curve. I know I've got a big drop in 3, but that's kind of what I wanted. I don't really want another 5-drop. I don't really want another 2-drop, so the 4-drop is going to have to be the one that I go for. So there we go. We've got our deck all set up. All ready to go. What we're going to do is we're going to plug this in to our Hearthhead and just see how many minions we've got, what our game plan is going to do, and how we're going to win games, and what we can do if we're like behind the board, ahead of board, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that all in later on, and then when I come back to review it and start the next video, then I can review it and actually get into the mindset of the deck on that day and kind of think about what I'm doing. I think some of the problem with the priest deck today that I ran was I did all of the sort of analysis yesterday, and then I came back in and I was trying to remember the analysis rather than actually looking at it and just kind of going, I kind of know what I'm doing, I kind of didn't. So I mean, what we're going to do is I'll fill it in, and then we'll have a look at it tomorrow, and we'll make sure that we know what's going to happen, what sort of things we want to do, whether we want to be putting pressure early, late, whether we're going for the face or for the minions, and how that's going to work together. And so yeah, we'll do that, and we'll see how it goes. And I mean, we've got our quest for the Paladin, so we only need 3 wins, and we'll get 60 gold, and then we're back up to that 160, so we can go back into the arena. We kind of want this deck to be going. I mean, I'll set my targets for this deck when I come back and do the next set of when I do the analysis, because I'm going to be able to think about it a bit more. Straight off the bat, I kind of want this to be going about 5. I know I normally go with 4, but I think this is a pretty good deck. It's got some crazy stuff going on in it, which is probably not good. It's got a bit of randomness. I don't like randomness, so I'm happy with this. I think it will be a fun deck to play. I think it will be interesting to do. It's even sort of like the thing where I might just keep the deck list and see if I can tweak this to play in ranked, because I like the Mad Bomber, I like Mad Bomber. I think if I had a deck built around those, then I'd have a lot of fun with it, even if it didn't do too well in the ranks. But as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching and it was interesting. Follow me on YouTube and Twitter, and you'll be able to see when we're going live. We've got live notifications on Twitter, and you'll be able to watch all of our old videos on YouTube, obviously, and obviously come back and join us when we come live later on. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.